Hi there, Falcons. Hello, everyone, and welcome to just a sharing piece here. Not necessarily a DI or direct instruction, but just reflection sharing from the pandemic. First, of course, because of your turn-in assignments, you notice that we had really some good chunk of time being devoted to gathering more information about our knowledge about the pandemic that we are in. So, and so far, this has been the update from the Bioscience Association of Manitoba. So, potential ways to treat or prevent COVID 19 and manage its symptoms: the use of antiviral drugs, vaccines, blood thinners, or plasma therapy. Again, this might be some big words, but in a nutshell, so the virals, antivirals, as the name suggests, are drugs that interrupt or prevent some specific steps of the virus life cycle. And a vaccine may contain the same organism that causes the disease in a human body, but it is a weakened or attenuated form so that it no longer makes a person sick and the body produces antibodies to fight future infections. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, that a vaccine for the coronavirus would soon be out. Now, it has been explored also the use of blood thinners. They help to maintain the blood flow in the human body. It prevents blood clots that can hamper the blood flow to the heart, lungs, and the brain. Now, plasma therapy, okay? Now, plasma makes up 55% of the total individual's blood volume. Okay, and the therapy so far, it has received a lot of attention lately, and it has been explored in other countries as well. So, and the life cycle of a virus, this a brief diagram of it. Like you have here the coronavirus, it enters the host cell, and then of course the virus then uses the host to replicate, and then what happens next? It releases multiple copies of virus to infect new host cells. Okay, so that's on the pandemic knowledge as part of the reflection here. And of course, your and my own personal contribution to stemming the spread of the coronavirus because we wanted to really flatten the curve. And this had been our steps so far. We stayed at home, we kept our social distance from each other, and there's also remote learning. And you will note from one of our assignments, there was this interesting tracker. And you can always go back to it even after you're done with the course. Like on a day to day basis, this is being updated. So the total so far would be 5 million plus. And of course, you can go country to country, right? So you have some friends in Mexico, then you can see what's happening there in Ecuador or in Belgium. So you just scroll in the countries and it gives you a global perspective. Okay. So I think this is one of the interesting turnout from the assignment. So we have this tracker, okay, shared to us by John Hopkins. Okay. And the recovery learning guidelines, right? And it made us really think about how we can really just bridge the gap in our learning with some guidelines set forth by the province. And another learning reflection would be on blended learning that we have practiced in science. We blended Google Classroom and Brightspace, or more specifically, I think it's just still the Blackboard system. But in any case, I really love the fact that I was able to use the power of Google Classroom and Blackboard at the same time. Now, on my end, I'm really trying my best to get into the Brightspace learning um, environment. Learn more about it and create beautiful and wonderful, more structured learning environments when you come back to school next year, or if not, at least even online. Now, also part of my reflection was the fact that I was able to create our learning support channel because it's tough, right? Like you're given an assignment in Google Classroom, for instance, and you don't know how it's done. So, and for me, it's one way of checking in with you as well. Like I wanted to get a sense of where you're at the moment. So I have here the learning support channel from day one up to now, right? And if I go here, I have here everything here. So it would just give a guide on a weekly basis on what is expected of you. So I find it nice to just develop this learning support channel with you guys. And soon to come up would be the story of us. This is just going to be a what's this a summary of what you have done from September till now. So I'm going to tweet about this and I'm going to just share that with you later on. And that's the story of us. Well, there was also the bright space here, and I think in a previous DI, I've given you an overview of the bright space learning environment. So let me just go back to that. So need to log in, and then of course I'm going to give you your what's this? I'm going to give you your bright space accounts. So you get to see here what I have started. Okay, so I have a grade 9 learning space for learning environment, grade 8, grade 7, even one for health, and let's start science design challenges. So 5 all in all, but it's always a work in progress. And I guess that is something that keeps me busy and keeps me on board with my own learning at the same time. So that's for Brightspace and then Learning Support Channel, our YouTube channel on that. And as I said earlier, um, soon, the story of us. And if there's one thing that has really gotten into me with all these things happening around us, I think we've gotten social in a nice way, right? So we've gone into Blackboard, into Google Classroom. I tweet some of the experiments that we had before in class because I really want to celebrate what you have done in class. And of course, our learning support channel, you can always go back to it from time to time. And remember, we even explored the idea of Instagram to showcase your lessons learned in science and alternative assessment, the flipbook, right? And of course, soon would be Brightspace. And you might wonder how am I how was I able to come up with all these video clips? I really have to thank Screencastify. It's a wonderful feature of Google Classroom. So we have gone social for sure, right? And that's it for me. And thank you. Ciao.